All of them are Chads. Did you seriously have any doubts about that? Every single character in Breaking Bad is a by-the-book Chad. But I guess if you really want to get political about it, then I guess the term Chad is a little too vague to describe them in recent years. Don't get me wrong, there will always be a place in society for Chads. And my boys from Breaking Bad will always have that spot. But what makes them so hot? Well, that's exactly what we'll be uncovering today. So let's take a deep dive into each character and decide what type of Chad they really are. A good one to start with is my man Jesse. You know, the cool thing about him is that he wasn't always a Chad. Don't get me wrong, he's hot as hell. But back then, he didn't really match that description. Nah, if anything, he was more of a doomer guy. But with a little bit of luck, and removing some undesirable influencers, he was able to blossom into the Chad he is today. According to Google, his background best qualifies him as an Omega male, which sounds absolutely awesome if it wasn't already ruined by incels. So instead, I think Jesse Pinkman better fits the role of a Sigma male, up there with the Chad Ryan Gosling, because we all know he absolutely loves that title. This one's way easier to decide. Mike is an alpha. He just is. There's no point in arguing anything. He's Mike. He's the kid named Finger, for crying out loud. What's not to love about him? He's handsome, strong, cute. I'd be terrified of losing my girlfriend if I ever saw him walk into the club. Yeah, no doubt about it. Mike is an alpha male. Hector, the main man himself. So according to this one article that I'm making all my decisions from, there's a thing called a gamma male, like radiation, I guess. It basically means you're invisible to the naked eye, meaning you are so insignificant as a person that no one would ever suspect the power and possibilities you're capable of. Kinda like Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but old and in the cartel. It sounds absolutely brutal, I know, being insignificant, but I think Hector Salamanca fits into this position pretty well. Just think, if people knew about his past, then he wouldn't be anywhere near a nursing home. But since people assume his best days are behind him, they just roll him in front of a TV and wait for him to die. So of course no one could have predicted what he was capable of, not even his archenemy, Gus. So yeah, I think Hector Salamanca gets the Chad rank of a gamma male. Pizza! This is another one of those Mike instances where it's clear from the get-go. Not only is Hank gorgeous, but he's also a gamer. If you don't remember, Hank is an expert in the game Minecraft, and even went as far as to kill the Ender Dragon. Who else from Breaking Bad has canonically killed the Ender Dragon? Yeah, Jesse plays Sonic the Hedgehog, but we all know who the better man really is. So yeah, Hank is definitely an alpha male. This is a tricky one. You see, if you asked me 3 years ago what I thought about Saul Goodman, I'd tell you he was perfect in every way. But as of recently, he's committed a few crimes. One of which is Flippin' Jimmy, an actual Breaking Bad adult cartoon consisting of fart jokes and toilet humor, all through the perspective of a young Saul Goodman. And I guess Huel is there as well, and apparently he changed his race at some point in his life. So you know how I said Jesse was too good to be an Omega male? Well, I feel Saul Goodman will be right at home there. He's a Chad, of course, but not by much. Also, he thought people wouldn't be able to see who he followed on Instagram. We're now hitting the final stretch for Breaking Bad Chads, and we're starting it off with Gus Fring. Right off the bat, it's clear that this man has his life put together. He's the embodiment of the grindset we all so desperately strive for. On top of that, Gustavo is the only character from Breaking Bad to have wielded the Darksaber from Star Wars. And by doing so, not only did he become the king of the Mandalorian, but he also wiped them out from existence. Who else has that kind of strength? Definitely not Walt Jr. A true Chad for sure, but nowhere near the might of Gustavo Fring, who, might I add, is the only person that can put Homelander in his place. So Gustavo is more than qualified to fit in his position of an alpha male. Only there's just a few things. See the way he holds that suit? And the way he values power more than anything else? He's a Sigma male. The best kind, the Patrick Bateman kind that everyone knows and loves. He's the kind of person everyone is attracted to but no one can have. Because to Gus Fring, the money grind always comes first. Walter Breaking Bad White. The leading character of the show and the chattiest chat of them all. Where do I begin? He's an absolute hunk of a man, but his life is devoted to the grind. So the real question for him is he an alpha male or Sigma male? Well, let's see. What are all the things that make him an alpha male? Like I said before, he's absolutely stunning, and he drives those awesome cars, so he's definitely living the high life. But remember, he didn't get that high life for nothing. He worked for that, sticking to the grind, day in and day out, and in the end he got paid. And although he doesn't have as many accomplishments as Gustavo Fring, he definitely knows how to snuff out the competition. And on top of that, there's a few things worth considering that keep Walter from being an alpha male. Like 1, he listens to Skrillex. Remember that scene? I don't care what you have to say about it. Skrillex is cringe. And 2, he unfortunately gets no bitches. Don't get me wrong, I'm in love with him, and I know you are too. But damn does this man not have the charisma to get laid. Have you seen how he talks to girls? The man puts his money interests way before his love interests. So say what you will, but Walter White is a definite Sigma male. Looking at all the chads we have, I am now undoubtedly gay. We have 3 Sigma males, 2 alpha males, a gamma male, and Saul Goodman. There's loads of other chads in this show that all deserve the recognition, but I believe I've covered the majority of the S tier, so Walt Jr. is gonna have to wait another day. I hope you agree with me on this debate, but if not, okay. But having said that, keep being cute, and I'll see you next time.